Can you see me and hear me clearly? Can you guys see me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So let's open today's session. Keep the back and neck straight. Sit comfortably. And when you feel ready, very gently close your eyes. Just start observing your breath. Watch the natural flow of your breathing as you inhale and as you exhale. Slowly shift your attention to your body. Check the alignment of your posture. If you feel the need, adjust your body. Your entire body should be comfortable and stable. Gently come back to your breathing and go into the practice of Puraka and Rechaka. Relax your mind as you take slow, long and deep breaths. After your next inhalation, retain your breath in. And then after 2 seconds, go into the process of exhalation. We'll open today's session by chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Take a deep breath in for Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Turn your palms together. Begin to rub your palms together. Keep your palms on your eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and look at the palms. Begin to open up the eyes and come back with a big smile. Namaste to everyone. Let us begin today's session. So yesterday we started with mudras, and today we are going to cover the remaining of our mudras. So first we'll today categorize the mudras, see what is the variety out there when it comes to mudras. So there are 5 types of mudras total. Okay, first one, very famous, and which we already discussed yesterday also, Hast mudras or hand gestures. HASTE, Hast Mudra, hand gestures. These are the most famous types of mudras. Yesterday also we discussed this thing that they kind of form the majority. These and head mudras combined, they form the majority of the practices of mudras, in fact. So they became very, very famous. So any mudra that you adopt with your hands, right? You could join, like yesterday we did Chin and Gyan Mudra. They are great examples of Hast Mudras. 𝐵𝐻𝑟ava, Bhairavi Mudra. So again, we are using the hands to form an energy circuit. So Hast Mudras are one of the most famous forms, and again, most of the Hast Mudras, they lead to a lot of introversion in the state of the mind as well, right? So like when we do Chin Mudra, I told you yesterday, the energy, it's circling back and then traveling to your brain. So on a very subtle level, it relaxes you, calms you down, and helps you to draw your attention inwards, right? If there is too much chaos, it's very hard to draw the attention inwards, right? So they work on a very, very subtle level, and depending on which elements you are joining, again, the work is taking place in that manner. So I won't elaborate too much. I've already told you about them deeply yesterday, right? So second types of mudras, they are the Mana Mudra or head mudras. Okay, MANA. Okay, so head meaning your eyes, when you are making use of the eyes, or nose, ears, lips, and tongue. Eyes, nose, ears, lips, tongue, right? When you make use of any of these body parts to form a mudra, then that mudra comes under the category of the head mudras. So today we are going to cover some of the head mudras, in fact. So like, pointing your eyes at the tip of your nose, right? So that is a head mudra. Again, when you focus the eyes on the middle of the eyebrows, again, it's a head mudra. Or you go for the Shanmukhi Mudra, which we did during Brahmari Pranayama. So that is again having an impact on all your eyes, your ears, your nose, yes, and your lips. So again, it comes under the category of a head mudra, right? So head mudras are generally when we basically perform any mudra with all of these body parts, right? Head mudras and hand gestures, they form again the majority of the mudras, like majority components, right? Then we come to the next one. So these ones also you would have um, done in your practical classes, Kaya mudras or postures. Mudras showing up in the form of postures. Kaya mudras or postural gestures. K-A-Y-A. Kaya, M-U-D-R-A-S. Kaya mudras. So Kaya Mudra also, some of them you would have practiced. So Kaya Mudras, they involve a combination of the posture and then the place of concentration, and that also keeps on moving as you move your body. And then they also incorporate the breathing along with that, right? So all these three things get combined. So in asana, you will see generally there is only one point of focus, but when you do the mudras, the points of focus in Kaya Mudras, it keeps on changing as you move the body, right? So the point of concentration is given to you, and you go in that manner only when you shift your attention, right? So Vipreet Karni Mudra, I'll write it down. And your Yoga Mudra you would have done in Ashtanga series. YOGA, Yoga Mudra, MUDRA, and then Vipreet Karni, VIPREET KARNI, Vipreet Karni Mudra. There is this asana called Vipreet Karni Asana, and when you incorporate the different points of focus in that, then it turns into a mudra, right? Then the next category of mudras, they come up in the form of bandhas. BANDHAS, bandhas or locks. Now, bandhas, we are not talking of the bandhas separately. Over here, there is a combination of mudra and bandh, basically. So you adopt a particular body posture, and then you apply the locks, and then you have points of focus, right? So examples of this very famous example is Mahamudra. If you take a look at Mahamudra, it's not a part of your course, but I'm just giving you an example. So you will understand what I'm talking about. It's not just the locks, just the chin lock, abdominal lock, or the perineal lock. It's not just that, it is a combination again when it comes in the category of mudras, right? This is not in your course, but I'm just covering the category so that you guys are aware. Okay, so don't get too confused or don't go too deeply also into it. Just for basic information, you should be aware, right? Last one is called Adhar Mudra. ADHAR, Adhar Mudra. these are, in the morning we were talking about brahmacharya. So that I was waiting for the categorization of mudras to come in, right? So these are kind of sexual mudras. So basically, I told you in the morning also, when you engage in sexual activity, the energy escapes from the lower parts of the body, right? But the yogi, they gain control over this energy, right? So these mudras are actually done during sexual intercourse so that the energy doesn't move out, right? So again, guys, these are advanced practices. Just don't read about them and then start practicing them. When you reach a very advanced stage, then you can make the use of these mudras, right? So very famous example of these mudras is again Ashwini Mudra. So that is connected to the anus region. So where you contract the anus region. So one of the mudras is that, and then there are other mudras that you do, like I said, during sexual intercourse. Right. So those are other examples. And Ashwini Mudra is like for the energy escaping through the anus region. I will just write it down. Ashwini. 𝐴𝐻𝑊𝐼NI. Right. So these are the 5 categories of mudras. Any doubts so far? So let's move to the mudras that we have to cover today. So these you have covered, one or two of them you have already covered, but today I will tell you a little bit more about them. So first one is your Shanmukhi Mudra. Let's start with Shanmukhi Mudra only. 𝐿𝐿𝐿 Shanmukhi Mudra. In English, it's called closing of the 7 gates. Now, Shanmukhi, you can divide this into 2 parts. Shat. Shat means 6. And Mukhi. This means faces. Or passages, you can say so. It depends on how you're counting basically. You can either say it's the closing of the 6 gates or 7 gates, right? So when we do Shanmukhi Mudra, we close both the eyes, 1, 2. Then if you are counting it as 6, then you close the nose also, that is 3. Then you close the lips, that is 4. And you close the 2 ears, right? 5, 6. Okay. Now, in some places, it is perceived as closing of 7 gates. Nothing different. 1, 2, and then they consider both the nostrils to be 2 different organs that you are closing. It's not seen as a nose, right? Then the lips and then 2 ears. So 7 gates or 6 gates. It's totally up to you how you want to interpret it. So when you close these direct the energy inwards or close these senses, right? So that mudra is called the Shanmukhi Mudra. This mudra is very, very beneficial because at all times the energy escapes through your senses, right? So suppose I'm sitting somewhere and there is some sound going on around me, right? So what will happen if I have no concentration at that point of time, or I'm not focused on something? I will hear that thing, right? So what is happening? In order to even hear, right, there is some energy that escapes, right? There is some form of energy that is being utilized to capture that sound. In that same way, suppose you are walking by some place and you catch the smell of maybe the flowers, right? So you're not consciously doing that thing, but some form of energy is again escaping because of the sense objects, right? And talking, we all love talking, right? So again, so much energy goes in when you talk to someone, right? So when you do the Shanmukhi Mudra, you are making an effort to not utilize the sense organs, and rather than utilizing, you direct the energy inwards, right? So Shanmukhi Mudra is very, very beneficial to perform in general also. Suppose you are drained out, your entire day or your job description requires you to chat with people, to, interact with people or engage in some manner or the other. So at the end of the day, you get very tired. So you can go ahead and perform Shanmukhi Mudra for a while. You will feel very, very relaxed and calm down, especially with the use of smartphones. As COVID came in, we all got connected, but now through smartphones, right? So there's so much energy of the eyes that goes while we look at a screen. So the eyes, one thing, they dry up, and then other thing, we feel pain. So many people are having eye fatigue these days, right? Eye muscle fatigue, right? So for these things, Shanmukhi Mudra is really, really good. First thing that Shanmukhi Mudra does is close the senses, right? Then second thing that it does is that you are in contact, right? So one thing is I close my eyes, right? So that will give me some relief. But when your hands or your fingers touch, right, those also act as a very, very effective way of inducing calmness, right? When you're feeling very tired, or when you feel really that everything, you feel worn out basically, right? And somebody just comes and, just pats on your head, pats on your back, right? You feel the relief, right? So in that same way, when your own fingers, they come in touch with your sense of like um, eyes and ears and lips, right? So they soothe them very, very quickly. This touch, makes sure. Again, when you touch the eyes, so again, the energy is directed inward. So you complete the circuit also, and then it has this other benefit as well, right? So Shanmukhi Mudra is done very, very in a very easy way. You place the index finger on your eyes, your middle finger where your nostrils are, the ring finger above the lips, little finger below the lips. You bend the hands a little, so don't go for straight. There is a slight, you bend them, right? And then you close the ears with your thumb, right? And this makes your Shanmukhi Mudra. Again, be very careful that you're not pressing the eyes too much, or there should be no pressure, right? But there should be ample awareness, right? ऐसे lags भी नहीं छोड़ देना, don't just leave them loose, right? Then again, I told you the elbows face outward, right? And the shoulders shouldn't go too up or down, and the hands also, they shouldn't move too forward. So elbows shouldn't go forward or backward, right? They should be placed. If somebody is looking at me from there, it's a straight line. So this is your Shanmukhi Mudra. Shanmukhi Mudra, only one contraindication: if you are too introverted in nature or somebody is depressed, this mudra doesn't help them a lot, because it's again and again taking the attention inwards, right? For people who have depression, they're already too much in their head, right? So they need to do something which helps them to become more extroverted, right? So this is your Shanmukhi Mudra. You can directly go into this mudra. There is no need that you have to do Brahmari only. You can sit comfortably, close your eyes, relax your breathing a little, and then just form the Shanmukhi Mudra, just to see what kind of energy loop you are completing. You begin to feel the introversion as you do the mudra, right? Shanmukhi Mudra is also used for certain forms of meditation. So Shanmukhi Mudra or its variation. So all other mudras that you would have seen, which are very close to Shanmukhi Mudra, they are variations. The technique that I have demonstrated, it is the original technique, right? So somebody is making you, these days one more variation is going on, one index finger above the eyes on the eyebrows, right? So these are variations, okay? If you want to check the practice, go for the original practice, right? So Shanmukhi Mudra is a great mudra for deep listening meditation, right? There is one form of meditation where you connect with these sounds, right? And for that also it induces great introversion, and it also helps you to connect with the sounds more, the subtle sounds more easily, right? Any doubts so far? No doubts? Okay. So let's move to our next mudra. So next mudra is the Nasika Mudra. Actually, it's a drishti, right? So again, this is a mana mudra. You are directing your eyes somewhere. So this mudra, Nasika Mudra, it's also called the nose tip gazing, Nasika. Nasik, it's the nose. Agra is the tip. Agra means tip. You can divide that in two words. And then drishti is gazing. So you're gazing at the tip of the nose when you do this mudra. Now, this is a very advanced level practice. So there is a preparatory practice which will be valid for most of us, right? Because it's very hard to focus your attention on the tip of the nose, right? So in the first, I will tell you about the preparatory practice, and then I will tell you about the main practice, and then I will tell you who cannot do it. So first is the preparatory practice. So originally we are not prepared to just directly open our eyes and look at the tip of the nose, right? So what we do is we place our hand at arm's distance. So you can point your thumb upwards and then you look at the tip of the thumb, okay? And as you focus your eyesight at the tip of the thumb, you begin to move the thumb forward and then you bring it to the tip of the nose as you move forward, right? So this will slowly, so I move my hand too fast, but slowly as you begin to move your hand back, your eyes adjust more easily rather than directly taking them into the drishti, right? So this practice can be done by you where you are doing this constantly. Once you come to this focus point again, try to hold the gaze for as long as possible, and then again you can begin this practice. Do it again and again, right? So this is the preparatory practice. Now what is the original practice? You just sit comfortably, you normalize your breath, you take some time with your breathing, and then as soon as you open your eyes, you look at the tip of the nose. So it seems as if your eyes are closed. Okay, when I do this mudra, it will seem as if my eyes are closed, but the lids are very, like they are down, and the eyeballs are totally focusing on the tip of the nose. So both your eyeballs, when you do this mudra, they come to the corner, right, inner corner of the eyes, and then you gaze at the tip of the nose. Now, there are a few things you have to take care of when you do this mudra, right? First thing is that if you have specs like I do, right, so it will take some time, okay? Because when you have an eyesight problem, so this is very good for people who have, eye-related issues, because it helps you to, slowly come more in alignment, right? But sometimes when you do this mudra, what happens is you will be able to see one side of the nose more clearly and not the other side, right? So slowly you have to build up your practice, and when you are able to focus like on the tip of the nose from both sides equally, then you will see a V shape, right? So you will be able to see the V shape, not specifically a V, but the you will be able to see that V formation, right? So that is the point when you know you have achieved the mudra. Before that, one side will seem to be more dominant for you, if especially if you have glasses, right? Uh, Second thing, so this is a practice which helps you to relax. Okay, or with your senses, while being in touch with your senses, you are focusing your eyesight sometimes, right? So it, with open eyes, you are able to go into deep focus and concentration. But what people do is when they do this mudra, they strain themselves too much, right? So when they do the no step gazing, they have like after they practice, they might feel as if there is some form of headache that comes up, or too much straining on the eyes, right? The practice is totally reverse, right? It's not asking you to gaze for a very long period of time, right? Go at your own pace, slowly develop your practice. But if after your practice you are developing headaches, if you are developing dizziness, that means you are not doing this practice correctly, right? So this practice, if done correctly, it will in fact release the strain, right, which is already existing, right? So be careful when you go for this practice. You know, sometimes everyone, there's a challenge and everybody is just say, "मैं ज़्यादा कर सकता हूँ, I can do more," right? So this is not a competition, guys. Be very careful. Okay. Any doubts so far? No? All right. So Nasika Drishti cannot be performed by everybody. Okay. This is an advanced practice, like I told you. So any person who has gone through any kind of eye surgery, they have to avoid this practice, right? In case of cataract, also, in case of any eye condition, in fact, they should avoid this practice. Like cataract, when it shows up, then it's not good to go for this practice, or very carefully they have to go for this practice, right? So if anybody has any major eye condition, completely avoid this practice, right? In case of like glasses also, very slowly you have to make them progress, because uh, immediately, you know, the strain comes upon you. It's already, if there is some eye number, there is strain on the eyes already, right? Because eyes are not equipped, right, to look at the object properly. So with those people, you have to be very careful, but it can be practiced, right? And in case of any severe eye condition, any surgery, completely avoid the practice. Okay. Any doubts? Okay, great. So this is great practice if you are aiming to increase your focus and concentration, right? Great practice. When you do this, you feel very like the fluctuation of the mind, fluctuations are very calm down. Like after this practice, just sitting for some time. You can do this practice at any point of time, but the most ideal times are either early in the morning or at night before you go to sleep. So it helps you to release a lot of mental tension, right? So it's always good to sleep also with a relaxed state of mind. Let's come to the last mudra, and then we will last, or maybe next mudra, Prana Mudra. Prana Mudra, all of you know, we did this during Nadi Shodhan practice, Anulom Vilom practice also, where you fold the first two fingers and place them on the root of the thumb, and this is the mudra, right? And you use the thumb and the ring finger, or the combination of ring and little finger, to alternate between both the nostrils. This one I told you quite in detail because Nadi Shodhana could not have been, or Anulom Vilom, you would have faced a lot of restriction in performing them when you were doing the practices. So how the shoulder should be placed, how the elbow should be placed, all of these things I've already covered. So I won't go too deeply into this mudra. This is how you do it, and it is enough information, right? Again, you can look at what elements you are suppressing. You are suppressing the wind and the ether element, right? So all the disorders that come out of this thing, again, it is very, very helpful for those people, right? This is generally used only during the practice of Anulom Vilom and Nadi Shodhana, Surya Bhedan, Chandra Bhedan. So where you need to switch between the nostrils, it's a great way to accomplish that thing, right? So one more mudra I will introduce. So Yoni Mudra. Yoni means womb or source. YONI. Yoni Mudra. Right? So when you do this mudra, you are actually connecting with that kind of energy, very feminine sort of energy. So I'm introducing this mudra because these days, and in my life also, a lot of people, they are facing a lot of issues related to menstruation, you know, PCOS, PCOD, cysts, basically getting formed, and in general, like because of some or the other hormonal imbalances, these issues are developing in women a lot these days. So this mudra, you know, constantly being performed, it helps. And even in your menstrual pain, if you get cramps or if it's unbearable for you, if you keep practicing, after a while this will begin to show its impact, right? So it's a very therapeutic kind of mudra. So this mudra can be done in two manners. One is the original form, and then you can also go for a variation. So all you do is you join the tips of the thumb and the index finger together, and then you interlace the remaining three fingers, right? So this, it forms the shape of a uterus, basically, right? And this you place near your abdominal region only. So when you hold this mudra, you again place this down, right? So over here when you interlock these fingers and you form this, you place it over here, right? And you sit in this mudra. So you close your eyes and you sit in this mudra. That is how it is done. One thing is I interlock the fingers. There is this kind of interlock that I create with the remaining three fingers. So my middle, ring, and index finger, they are getting interlocked. Sorry, middle, ring, and little finger, they are getting interlocked. And the index and the thumb, the tips of the index finger and the thumb, they are joined. Right? So I interlock these, join this, and then just hold this mudra, close the eyes. Right? And just hold this mudra 5, 10, 15 minutes. Right? Daily practice. Other way of doing this is where you properly interlock the remaining three fingers like this. Okay, so like till the end you go and you do this. So this kind of shape comes up when you, this is a variation of your Yoni Mudra. Again, you can place it over here, close to your uterus, and you can just close your eyes and observe. This is the second form. Any doubts in the technique of the mudra? So Yoni Mudra is a very, very, even though I said it is very good for females, it's a very balancing kind of mudra, right? When you join both your hands together, there is a balance that is established in the body. So when you do this mudra, you will overall feel more balanced. And again, when you join the hands together, so there is an interconnection also that is formed between both the hands. So in Chin Mudra, they are separate. In Gyan Mudra, they are separate. But now we are joining, right? When we do this mudra, we are joining. So there is an interconnection between the masculine and the feminine side. And a balance established in both of them, right? Generally, there is some imbalance. Even if you look scientifically, there is some hormonal imbalance in the body which causes all of these issues in the female body, right? So, not to reinforce more balance, this is a great mudra. So with this, you guys can do your own experiments. You can sit for 10-15 minutes daily and see what kind of impact is showing up on your own body, right? So any doubts so far? Otherwise, you will practice for a little bit. No doubts? Okay, let's go for a very short session of practice, about 10 minutes, then we'll close our class. Right, so sit comfortably, keep your back and neck straight. Very gently close your eyes. Start connecting with your breath. Just watch the natural flow of your breathing as you inhale and as you exhale. Adjust your body. Keep your body comfortable and stable. Feel your breath relax. Begin to deepen your breath. Prepare your mind for the practice of Shanmukhi Mudra. Keep your back and neck straight and slowly begin to move your hands close to your face. Don't bend your neck forward or downwards. Take the hands to the face and with your index finger, close the eyes. With your middle finger, just place it lightly near your nostrils. Don't close the nose. Your ring finger should be placed on the upper lips and little finger should be placed on the lower lips. And then you can close the ears. Very slowly and gently release the mudra. Relax your hands. Very slowly and gently release the mudra. Relax your hands once again. On your knees, you can choose to form the Chin Mudra or just leave your hands open, palms facing upwards. Observe your breathing. Feel the impact of the mudra. Still remaining aware of the touch of your hands on your face. We'll go for the practice of Nasika-Drishti next. Place your palms on your eyes. While looking down, open up your eyes. We will only go for the preparatory practice just to get a hint of how we are going to practice. So bring your thumb forward. And as you open the eyes, start gazing at the tip of the thumb and very slowly begin to move your thumb close to the tip of your nose. Take your own time, don't go too fast. And as you reach closer and closer, feel your eyes focus, still remaining on the tip. And once your thumb touches the tip of the nose, your eyes are concentrated over here. Try to hold this position. Now breathing. Close your eyes if you cannot hold for longer period of time. With your breath. We will go for this practice one more time. So bring your thumb forward at arm's length. While looking down, open up your eyes and then gaze at the tip of the thumb. Slowly begin to move the thumb backward and allow your eyes to adjust the focus as your hand moves closer to your nose. And then place the thumb on the tip of the nose, go at your own pace, and try to stay here for some time. If you feel dizzy, uncomfortable, you can close your eyes, relax your hand. Gently take your hands to your knees. See the shift in your focus and attention. We will go for the practice of Yoni Mudra. So whichever variation you like, you can go ahead and adopt that variation. Either you can interlock the last three fingers and join the tips of the index finger and thumb together and place them close to your lower abdomen, or you can interlace the last 3 fingers completely and then join the tips of the thumb and the index finger. Just keep it close to your uterus region. Feel the sense of balance and harmony. When you feel ready, you can release your hands. Adopt Chin Mudra. Just become aware of your abdominal region and simply observe the impact. Slowly begin to become aware of your breathing. We will close today's session by chanting Om 1 time, followed by 3 Shanti. Take a deep inhalation for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Join your palms together and gently bow down. And to rub your palms together. Keep your palms on your eyes. Feel the warmth getting transferred from your palms to your hands. We will do this one more time. Rub your palms together. Keep them on your eyes. And when you feel ready, very slowly, start blinking and looking at your palms. Begin to open up your eyes and come back with a big smile. Are there any doubts, any queries? Doubts? Okay. So in Yoni Mudra, one point that I forgot to mention, I don't have a lot of space here, but your elbow should point outwards. Okay, so when you form the mudra, then it shouldn't go like this. So I just reflected back on this. So if your elbow should point outwards, it leads to the expansion of the chest also, right? So if you have no more doubts, then I'll end today's session. Take care, guys. Enjoy the remaining of your classes. And yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.